Hello, my juicy jelly beans. I love spring and all the colours that come with it. So today I'm in the mood for spring colours and I wanted to work on a canvas. This one is a 40 by 30. I wanted to work on something smaller, but this was the only size I had left. So I'm going to try something out and fingers crossed it works. Because we're going to be using paint and we're going to make a mess, I'm going to put this plastic sheet on top of my silicone mat. That way, less cleaning up to do later. We need to protect the back of the canvas with some painter's tape, as we will be using resin. The colours I've chosen are these: a white to mix with the orange, magenta, lilac, blue, aqua and yellow. I want soft colours for the background. I've also got some fluorotrol to make up the mixture. You can actually use PVA glue and water. If I'm not mistaken, you would need 60% of PVA glue and 40% water. If you decide to use fluorotrol, you will still need to add some water to make a nice consistency. I've already prepared my paints. I lightened up all the colours using the white except for the aqua and the lilac. I also added 3 drops of silicone to each colour. I've placed my canvas on 4 small plastic pots as we will get overflow. So now I'm going to start pouring each colour separately, making sure the whole canvas is covered. Gosh, I'm so nervous because I've watched a couple of videos and they make it look so easy, but it does have its own special technique. And I'm not the best person to tell you the best way to do this, as this is the second time I've actually done this. Paint is poured and I'm going to use the acetate sheet to swipe across the colours. Now we need to move the paint to create the pattern we want. By the way, I sped up all these parts because I'm slow. Once you are happy, use a torch to create the cells, then leave it to completely dry. This has dried and it took about 3 days. I'm loving how it turned out and I'm tempted to leave it just like this, but I'm not going to. I thought about using this beautiful stencil. I also want to use a sponge, so I have this cheap one that I'm going to use and cut up in smaller pieces. I've also got this stunning gold leaf which I got on Temu, and we're going to need some gilding glue. Now, although the normal thing would be to use the whole stencil, but because I'm really loving the cells, I've decided to just go around the edges of the stencil, and I want to use the sponge so that I don't have any harsh lines. Begin to add the gilding glue to all the edges. I decided to also add some glue all around the edges of the canvas using the sponge. Once done, leave it to dry for an hour. This has dried enough to become tacky. We can now begin to add the gold leafing. I'm absolutely awful at adding leafing. Now we need to brush off the excess. I ended up going outside to do it because there was foil going everywhere and sticking to everything. All done. My arm was aching after all this brushing. I even ended up using my finger to rub it off. Now I want to make the silhouette a little darker, so I'm going to place the stencil back on again. I've decided to first go with this delicious metallic purple. Grab a brush and begin to dab the colour around the silhouette where we placed the leafing. But don't cover it completely. For the edges of the canvas, I'm going to place some painter's tape to create a slight line. Not too harsh, but just enough to make a border. I did the top and bottom slightly thicker with the same brush and colour. I'm dabbing all around the edge to soften it all out, making sure to still leave some of the gold leaf still visible. Lastly, I'm going in with some black, but this time I'm going to water the colour down so we can do a wash over. I'll do the same to the face. Big thank you to all my subscribers and their beautiful comments, which really brighten up my day. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. It's free and it would really help my channel. Don't forget to hit the like button if you've enjoyed the video. Love you lots. For resin, I'm going to be using Artline Honey. The honey is a medium viscosity and perfect for our next step. It has a ratio 2:1 by weight. All Artline resins are crystal clear, and I mean really beautiful crystal clear. And another thing I love is that it barely smells to no smell. Perfect for those of us who are allergic to those crazy vogs. If you would like to try out any of their resins, I will leave a 15% discount for you in the description box. Pour your resin on top and spread it all around, making sure to cover everything, even the sides. Use a spatula or your hands to aid the resin. Keep watching for the end results. Toodles!